Sup nerds, today we have a match of Royal Knights versus Chaos Gallant / Megidramon. I won the die roll. I start by hatching my King Drazel, sucking up the top Tama, and then playing a Mechamon for 4. Solar starts by hatching Digimon and evoing into Gilmon. He plays another Gilmon for 3. And then evos into Growlmon for 2. And Growlmon's gonna try to delete something 3k or lower, but because he can't, we're actually both gonna mill the top 2 cards of our decks. Alright, so I'm at 1, so I absorb my other King Drazel and swing with the Mechamon for 4k. He survives a check, which is bittersweet. It forces him to deal with it on his turn, or I get another free check. Then I play blue card for 3 to set him to 2 to look at the top 5 cards of my deck and add a Digimon. And I already have an Omnimon in my hand, so I add the BT13 Craniumon. Since he won't be able to be deleted by his effects. That might potentially save me if he gets going. Then Solar evos for 3 into Black War Growl. We both mill the top 3 cards of our deck. And then he should have enough cards in trash to delete my Mechamon, and then I trigger my Mechamon's effects, and I tuck that Craniumon. Then draw for turn. Absorb my last King Drazel. So I play Lord Knightmon for 4, and then add the Justmon back to my hand for my trash. That way I might be able to potentially deal with his board if he goes like super wide. He hatches evos into a Gilmon. And then he evos into BT5 Megidramon for 3 memory. We both mill the top 5 cards of our deck. And I go ahead and just organize my trash just so I have a count. Because it's going to matter for my Gallantmons and also just for a lot of his effects. How many cards we each have in our trash. So his Megidramon currently does not have an on-deletion because he does not have a Tamer in play. So that's probably keeping him from swinging because it'll also pass turn. So evos into Black Growlmon for 2. We both mill the top 2 cards. And he gets to add a Gilmon and Growlmon back to his hand, or Gallantmon. So I main phase, suck up my Lord Knight. I ask him to count his trash, just so I can see how free my Gallantmon is. So I combine Gallantmon's effect and King Drazel's effect to play him for free. I delete the Black Growl with Gallantmon's on play. And then I play Marcus for 5 to set him to 3. I don't bother suspending it. And I don't swing with my Gallantmon because I want it to get absorbed by my King Drazel. And I don't want him to be able to potentially swing over it or something or die to a security check on his turn. So that's why. Because if I don't really need to poke at him here. I should just be able to OTK him. So evos into Growlmon again. We both mill top 2. He does count just to make sure his blast mode that he just milled does not get a chance to delete my Gallantmon. But he doesn't have anywhere near enough. Thankfully. Then he evos into War Growl. We both mill top 3. And then he gets to play a Tocado or a Gilmon from his hand to trash. And he plays the Blitz Tocado. And then I go to 3 from Marcus. Gallantmon gets absorbed. And I don't really care about his Megidramon. I don't want him to evo into something else. So I play Agumon. And then use Agumon's effect to turn Marcus into Digimon. And then play Jesmon for 1 memory to choke him to 1. Just to give Jesmon 2 more Digimon in play. To pop the War Growl stack that he was building. And to choke him to 1. So he hatches evos into a Gilmon. So now he can swing safely with his Megidramon because it'll get his on deletion since he has a Tamer in play. So he does poke me finally. Checks a Purge so he does not get an on deletion effect. And that Purge is beneficial for me. Then he hard plays Gilmon for 3 to look at top 4 for a Tocado and a Growlmon / Gallantmon. He adds the Black Growlmon. Then I go to 3 from Marcus. Main phase, Jesmon gets absorbed, and now I'm wondering if I can OTK him. So I activate Agu to turn Marcus into Digimon. Swing with Marcus, minus 3k on the Gil. Marcus dies. I do gain a memory to go to 4. Pop Purge. Play out Gallant, swing over Megidramon. He gets his own deletion to play Megidramon. And now I'm minus 10 for my King Drazel effect. So I play Omnimon for 4 to go to 0. Pop bottles. Play all my dudes out. Activate Lord Nightmon effect to add the Justmon GX back to my hand. Activate Justmon effect to delete the Megidramon. So he gets to play a Takato and a Gilmon. And I swing security with Agumon. Agumon's actually 7k from Justmon's effect, since everything's 5k bigger. So he actually survives the check. Swing, 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 game. So I do take game 1. Pretty handily. He was afraid to swing into my security for a good portion of game 1, just because like he wouldn't get any on deletions, and my entire deck is megas. Took him a while to see a tamer, so it gave me plenty of time to just kind of chill and set up my OTK. So Solar actually makes me go first, probably in hopes that I brick, but I did not. I hatch my King Drazel, absorb my King Drazel, and play a Megidramon for 4 to set him to 4. Same thing I did game 1, and he mulligans his opening hand, so he has to shuffle again. Surprisingly, you don't mulligan in this game you don't mulligan with Royal Knights very often, or you don't have to. So he almost forgot his security. So he just put the top 5 cards of his deck. Technically, he drew 1 card that should have been a security since he drew 6 cards per turn, but it's not a big deal. So Evo's into Gilmon. Then plays Mist Memory Boost for 3, mills 2, and draws 1. And then Evo's into Growlmon for 2 to set me to 1. And I absorb my King Drazel, swing with the Mechamon, he dies, let's go. I tuck my Justmon GX and my sources. I play Dynas for 3 memory, look at the top 4, I add Alpha and Magnemon to hand. He Evos into Growlmon, or War Growlmon. We both mill the top 3 cards of our deck. And then he gets to play a Gilmon for free and choke me to 1. I draw for turn, absorb my last King Drazel, and then absorb Dynaspawn. I'm currently -9 on my Drazel. So I play Magnemon for free, and then activate Purge, draw 1, and then tuck an Omnimon to my sources. And then I would gain 3 memory back, so it sets him to 2. He pops the memory boost, go to 4, Evos into Chaos Gallant. He pops his Gilmon to pop my Magna. My Magna's an interruptive effect, so I would draw first from the Magna, and then his Gilmon effect would trigger to trash the top 2 cards of our deck. And then Chaos Gallant triggers and plays the Gilmon back. Milling 2 Purges kind of sucks, but it's not a huge deal. Because in matchups where your opponent can delete a lot of your stuff, purging into your sources without like leaving your Royal Knights exposed is a lot better than just playing them out and hoping they survive the turn. He swings for 14k with Chaos Gallant and barely beats over the Genkumon. Then he Evos into Black Growlmon for 2. We both mill the top 2 cards, and he gets to add a card from his trash to his hand. And he adds the Chaos Gallant from his trash to his hand. I draw for turn. So I purge out my Dynasmon. -9 off of Drazel, so I play Ulforce for 2, trash the top 4 sources of the Chaos Gallant, bounce him, and then Dynasmon deletes level 4 or lower, and then I play a Mechamon to set him to 4 and draw a card. Pretty brutal turn, it completely resets his board state. I'm feeling pretty good once I do that. And he Evos into Growlmon for 2, and both mill the top 2 cards since he can't delete anything 3k or lower. Ulforce is one of my favorite Royal Knights to play against a lot of like purple matchups and like matchups like this, where deleting your opponent's stuff is actually beneficial to them. But I can't justify fitting more than 2 in the deck, but it is really nice seeing it in these matchups. So Evo's into Black War Growlmon, we both on the top 3, and now we need to see how much he can delete with his effect. So we can only delete the Omechamon. And then I trigger my Mechamon effects, tuck my Craniumon. Then beginning of main, Dynasmon and Ulforce get sucked up. So I'm -12 right now with King Drazel's effect, so I play Alphamon for free, tuck a Mechamon. Now his 10 cost or higher, can't swing on his turn. and then I play Marcus for 5 to set him to 4. There's no reason to tap it since it's not going to do anything. Then he hatches. So now I'm set up. I should be able to just kill him on my next turn, because I guaranteed myself 3 memory with the Marcus, and that deck doesn't play blockers, obviously. Alphamon's another one that's pretty safe to play against decks like this because he has a built-in protection effect, so you'd have to delete him twice. So Evo's into Megidramon, both on the top 5 cards of our deck again. He counts his trash for his blast mode again, just to make sure he can't attempt to pop my Alphamon. Sadly, it's only enough for level 5 deletion, so he can't attempt to pop my Alphamon. Then he hard plays Tie for 4 to give me 3. I think he did that for a couple reasons. One, it turns his Megidramon's on deletion effect on, which is definitely a good call, because I could pop it. Depending on what's in my hand, I could delete it for pretty easily. So I asked him to count his trash, because I'm curious how free my Gallantmon is. So we have 49 cards between us, so Gallantmon is super duper free with his own effect. So I just play him for free. Feels good. Seems fair. And I minus 13 off my King Drazel effect currently. So I play Agu for 3. Turn Marcus into Digimon, swing with Marcus, gain a memory minus 3k on the Megidramon, then play Omnimon for 1 memory. I get to play everything out. Trigger Dynast, look at top 4. I add the Gallantmon, the Omnimon to my hand. Then I trigger Alphamon, tuck in a Mechamon. Then I trigger Ulforce. I trash all of his sources and bounce it back to his hand. No on deletions for you. And then we see if we can kill him. Swing, swing, and swing, and game. So you take it 2-0. Pretty brutal matchup for Chaos Gallant, honestly, since we have a lot of really big bodies they have a hard time dealing with. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.